And hello everyone and welcome to the library. I am the author of all the things, and we are here tonight to get some shenanigans going as the crew of the Starship Gungnir. Last week we found out some things. We found out about Grek and his slight temporal twin, and he ran face first into a subspace phenomenon that looks suspiciously like it belongs in the Greek alphabet. But only Captain Calder is aware of the true implications here. And with evidence mounting, the crew weighs their options on if they want to follow the evidence and pursue the Latin man into the Devil's Triangle, the Forbidden Zone next to the Silk Road. And hopefully my voice holds out. And with that, let's roll our credits. Swoosh. There we are. Whoops, I forgot about something. OBS is not seeing the game screen.
Anybody else hearing all that background noise?
Nope, you go to the bottom. I'm not at bottom. Hashtag streaming is hard. Okay, you need to go there. Out like that. And it's alt crop. There we go. And I'm just gonna have to do that again if we go to ground alert. So don't screw this up, guys.
You just jinxed it. I hope you realize that.
Now, why would I jinx it? Why would I want you guys to go to red alert? That's just more work for me. have to deal with combat and spending momentum and all the rules and tracking damage. But let's start off with it is the first day of our 4-day repair cycle. The Gungnir is in the dry dock, getting repairs. Here's taking over, and you have a slew of evidence to go over. In fact, let's go over that evidence on the conspiracy board.
No, that's better.
Yeah, for some reason the background noise is a lot higher than normal. Oh goodness, that is like way too loud. Even on stream, let me bump that down. All right, so before I have a conspiracy board with a bunch of tokens and people of interest, victims and crimes. Let's throw this all together and see what we have. So over here in the red square, we have our suspects. We have Captain Fred, Thor. This should be the Black Widow, Latin Man, Hawkeye, and the Hulk. And if you hover over the tokens, and you should get a small tooltip about them. This is just kind of the stuff I threw together. If you have anything else to add or any other insights that I might have forgot, please let me know, and let's just start putting pieces together.
You could add the event that Vera kind of vaguely described back when she was working with the Hulk.
That's a good idea. Let's see, any generic tokens, friendly and unfriendly.
I mean, one thing we could do is have us figure out the long-term effects of that patch.
You could definitely look into that. And that's another thing we need to look into. Subspace. I can spell. And of course, with the subspace shockwave, we also have the phony update.
So correct me or remind me, the subspace shockwave, that actually moves some stars around, right?
Yes, it did. It was a half dozen end stars.
So the shockwave should find out where its epicenter was, whether or not it was actually from the. Since the stars move towards the triangle, the triangles does not it. If the shockwave was the thing that moved them, doesn't look like the triangle is where we should be looking for that.
Just what a triangle denier would say.
If we have a shockwave that is moving things in a direction, the epicenter is where we should look, not the direction they're moving in.
He has a point. Maybe because the stars fell towards the triangle, maybe they were pushed from the other side.
Or pulled.
Yeah, either way. Would you like to look more into that?
I would like to know more.
Would you like to know more? Let's see. Definitely reason. Sadly, it's gonna have to be a science to find out if it could be pushed or pulled, but I can give you the reverse vector for a con check. No complication, and computers can definitely help weasel some math out. And this will just give you the anti-direction of where the stars were pushed from. And also a possible location you could check out.
Hey, Veer, do you feel up for making a con roll?
Sorry, yes.
Wow. Roll20 and he made their music really loud lately.
They updated their UI on that for the
Yeah.
settings as well. So that might have reset it all.
Oh, take a threat.
Okay.
I'll re-roll the 0. Hold. No luck.
I could give it to you at cost.
I think it's important enough to do that.
Yeah, sure.
Let's pull you to the map. And all the music stops. All right. The cost is you can't really narrow it down, but the stars were affected in this sector and this sector. If they were pulled, the epicenter will be here. If they were pushed, the epicenter would be somewhere near. I'll place a hard marker on there.
So pulled from the triangle or pushed from that other point.
The one we can look at without getting into trouble is the push.
How long would it take us to get there?
Little over a week, probably like 9 days.
All right, Fox, here's your runabout. Let us know how it goes.
I mean, we can still use the Slifnir.
You can use the Slipnir, but the Slipnir has a slightly lower warp speed. So, yeah, you're looking at 9 days in the Slipnir just to get it over there, and then you have to search the entire sector. But if that's something you want to do, you certainly could. Another option is maybe you could see about out getting another ship, or you could just gather evidence and wait 4 days and get the Gungnir over there.
Is there another ship near that sector?
Let's check.
I'm closest is the Maxwell, Kismet, and Achilles from the looks of it.
This has not been updated. Nope. Grab tool from this. The Achilles is way up north off map, and the Kismet is all the way in the core sector. Plank is still nearby, and they actually could go up here within a week and start checking that out. The Ecliptic. It's actually up here doing surveys, and the Rampart has been pulled back and is helping with some disaster relief. The Braytok. Braytok is also close by. I actually could jump into that sector if you could talk them into it, but it's a boring mission.
I mean, I think they owe us a solid because we gave them 2 good chances of getting glory.
They do owe you one. Would you like to bring them up?
Yeah. See, they could assist us with this because they literally, well, how long we had to take them to pick up some of us to actually go there.
It would be quicker to just have them go there and send us the data.
Yeah.
Yeah. They can be in the sector by like in the next 2 days. Azen start doing scans.
Yeah, we can send them what our sensor requirements are, and they can do it.
Yeah, because to do a round trip, it would almost be faster just to send yourselves over. They're in a runabout. Bird and Prey can probably pull Warp 8, Warp 9 on a good day. Gungnir can do 9.7. Need to double check. And the Slipnir air can pull about Warp 7. No, 9.2 for our maximum warp. You can pull 9.8 for 12 hours, but that's not going to allow you to cross the sector in that time. So yeah, Braytok's closest. You might be able, you might be able to talk the Maxwell Plank into pulling into that, but that would involve going up one chain of command and down another. Or you can send a shuttle all out yourself.
I don't think it'll hurt to try and get the Klingons to do at least ask. Swoop over, take a few sensor readings. Then if any stuff goes down in the Devil's Triangle, it's thinking, hey, you guys can come along with us. Rock and roll. Thoughts?
I'm against the idea of any ship going in, let alone having the Klingons enter into a dangerous zone. But the Klingons are the closest ones to the epicenter at the present moment. That would probably be the easiest, given that you have a favor with them.
So what do you say, Calder?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see if we can get them on a horn. Let's see. You're trying to call them from like nearly 2 sectors away. And sure. Let's make this spicy. Control, engineering, difficulty 3. And then communications, engineering.
Is that to just place the call?
Yep, it's just place to call. Establish connection.
Okay, I'm going to actually use ADUAC to assist and say, actually make this a private channel.
Private channel, we'll set that to difficulty 4 to encrypt it.
Okay.
I actually have a focus in computers. Would that help?
Talk me into it.
Setting up a secure encrypted channel over that distance would require a lot of tweaking of the algorithms to optimize them.
Okay, I'll accept it.
Okay. And we have no momentum, so I will give you a point of threat. I'll use bold engineering to re-roll that.
Comp.
Yes.
Yeah, get some momentum off this. And communications engineering.
There you go.
So that is 4, 5, 6 on a diff 4. Private channel is secured. This is the Bray Talk.
Greetings, Bray Talk. This is Commander Calder, Captain Calder.
Calder, my good friend. What can we do for you?
I need a favor if you, but sadly, unlike the last two, won't be that exciting.
What is it that you ask of us?
We need you to check scan this this location. We're sending you the coordinates if you accept it. We think because we trying to find more evidence of the cause of the whole
Subspace shockwave.
yeah, the cause of the subspace shockwave, and we believe it was not natural, but a man-made caused.
You believe that there is trickery and subterfuge about. Yes, our systems were affected by that at subspace disturbance as well. Many worlds were cut off and now cry for help.
Scanning that region of space would help us determine where that dishonorable Pakta is, and once we know where he is, we can bring you in for the glory.
Send us what information you have. The Braytalk will scout ahead and find our prey. And to specify the type of scans you need to get. On a scale of 1 to 5, how detailed do you want their air scans to be?
What would their pool be for going?
They are an ally, so they'll be using momentum. And this is gonna be a present science scan and task to explain to them what you want. I could be given a command, but you need to get them some of the details.
Yeah, we'll be giving them details of what we're trying to find out.
Okay, how detailed are you gonna be?
Let's go 4.
And communications and science. Present science, difficulty 4, assisted by communication science. I will take command at increased difficulty.
Let's activate Patterson.
Okay.
Activating Patterson.
Hey.
Present science. He has a focus in sensor operations. Will that help?
Yeah, I'll take it as trying to explain exactly what bandwidths and stuff you're looking for.
Okay, I will use a point of momentum.
Can the shift colonial support trait help?
In what manner? Talk me into it, basically.
Because we're using the ship to send this communication to get the Braytalk to do this that would support the colonies here.
Yeah, we want to prevent another shockwave that would affect all the planets orbiting these stars that were affected. So that would affect those colonies.
I think you have a better trait for that.
Frontier
Frontier
Defender.
Defender.
Frontier Defender. That's the one I was thinking. Yes, Frontier Air Defender, or you definitely would have to sometimes send in very complex information from one starship to another in a different sector to try to defend this wide area. So, because the Gungnir has super advanced communication systems able to handle that bandwidth, I will allow it to take the difficulty down by 1, but still have the effect of a diff 4. And you got 5 total, so that is 3 momentum. We will go forth and find this cowardly Pratok who uses such weapons against our people. And I'll inform you if there is anything left. Pratok out, and he goes to the comm. Kapla. And muting myself for a second. Okay. I actually was going to put something in there, but now I was going to put an account in there, but now instead of the players finding it, the Braytok's going to find it. How is that going to work out? We shall see. Essentially, they were going to find the origin of subspace origins on a Class Y planet, and if they were there to make encounters on there, they would run into none other than the Black Widow. Depending on how this game is going, I might spend threat and trigger a rescue operation, or allow the Braytok to signal to them, hey, we found something, and here it is, and give them a teaser of an encounter on a Class Y world, which, as you know, is extraordinarily dangerous, high pressure, high radiation, and toxic atmosphere. It is not a fun place, so that's going to cause all sorts of issues if they do a away mission. And with that, let's return. No, I wasn't talking about behind your back.
Right.
Shh, it's fine.
Why is there a knife in my shoulder blade?
It's fine. It's nothing to worry about. Anyways, so the Braytok goes off into glory and adventure. They're probably gonna report to you in 5 to 7 days. So probably just as you're pulling out of space dock. Meanwhile, we have the Braytok working on that. Braytok's investigating the blip, and Rosh, you wanted to look into the long-term effects of the comms update.
Correct.
All right. What exactly are you looking for? What's the parameters?
We need to look at the effect of the bogus patch. We know it was intended to disrupt subspace communications, but I'd like to see kind of how it was doing it. See if we can glean some kind of motivation on its purpose for doing that. Is it just to block our communications, or was there something else going on?
There's a couple ways you can go about this. One, you can look at it at a very technical code view, which would be a reason engineering, or if you want to take a step out and go meta level, that'll be an insight security role to kind of think of what would the advantage of such a code be. So kind of depends on how you want to lean into this. And how you address this would also also affect how your what questions I answer, or what answers I question.
I think if we do the insight security meta standpoint, Fox would probably be better qualified to do that than I would.
Yeah.
But I think that's probably the way to go.
Let's see. Absolutely. You're not familiar?
Best. I mean, I know a way for Veer to assist.
Vera could definitely assist.
I mean, one way is just to learn it.
And I'm just going to point this out, and command officers would know. There is nothing in his service record that would indicate that he would be able to pinpoint any security issues with computer systems. He has been boots on the ground his entire career.
Even boots on the ground, and you might be able to think of, okay, what would disrupting communications do?
Yeah. The tactical advantages of doing that, but he wouldn't be able to really identify anything beyond that.
Well, someone on your team might know.
I mean, like I was trying to say, it is a way for Veer to assist. The best way they can is to run this patch through a shuttlecraft we're not using.
You could definitely do that. You can set that up as an advantage on this roll.
Yeah, that way Veer could also just use her con. Because of her roll ability.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I like to set up that advantage for Veer.
Okay. Control con div 2.
You do. Take another threat.
I'm not gonna need that later. Gain
Should
a
I just
momentum.
roll to 0 because I can?
Yep. 2 momentum. We are at full. And Vera has created the advantage of having a shuttle fully set up with the virus, so you can see how it interacts with their systems. And you can apply the advantage to decrease the difficulty, complication, or to ask additional questions.
Let's decrease the complication.
All right, comp 3. Oh,
No,
comp 2.
Comp 2, yeah.
I've got my comp and difficulty. Difficulty still 4 because this is very abstract thinking here, but you might stumble across it.
Oh yeah. Take a threat, and I have tactics as a focus.
Absolutely.
All right, onwards and downwards.
Tra-la-la. And computer security can help.
Or not.
It made an effort. So that was difficulty 4. You have an extra momentum, so you have 1 float. Which can you say? Ask an additional question. Basically, by shutting off certain subspace channels, you would be forcing people to either communicate through different means or not communicate at all. Either way would be detrimental to any sort of combat situation.
It also leads to just misdirection for civilian freighters as well.
Yep, communication is key, and if you can control the means of communication, you can effectively control the economy or control the battlefield. you can give misdirection. You can force people to use channels that you are actively monitoring. It would be easier to spread misinformation, or you could just choke them out and leave them confused and adrift.
He gives his overview of it via his knowledge and tactics. In a nutshell, it could be detrimental to everything in this sector, and if it spreads beyond it, then the entire quadrant could be subverted by these means.
Yeah, somebody's making a major play for this area. And they're playing the long game.
The long game, indeed. So, next question is, who would stand to gain from this long game?
Unfortunately, given what I've seen so far, there's only one organization that would be wanting to benefit from this kind of thing. Y'all know the bigger picture on that one than I do.
So, it seems we definitely have a motive. Next question is opportunity. Who, what, or how would they have the means to do this? And unfortunately, the opportunity question is gonna have to wait for Sorrel, because he'll have especially neat insight on this. We know
I mean, a pretty big opportunity for them to throw out their patch was the complete disruption of the subspace frequencies with that pulse.
But if the pulse was artificial, that means that they would have to plan ahead and have the ability to set off that pulse.
And that's where Fox would end his thinking on it and leave it to somebody who's more inclined in that nature.
Let's use the 7th and 6th momentum to give Seagal a advantage.
Advantage in what manner?
Pretty much a fraction of the work Seagal needs to do is pretty much already done. So less prep time.
Less prep time? I was gonna do that anyways. I'll make his roll easier. Yeah. You are able to piece together the motivation of this of economic gains, and that might put some insight on how the blip was activated, or what mechanism the blip used.
Do we know the extent of how far this shockwave and subspace communication interference went? Was it
approximately
further?
Approximately 2 sectors, 2.5 sectors, so 40 to 50 cubic light years.
So fairly local to our area, then.
Yeah. Wait, is that how cubes work? 20 by 20?
Can you fill up the map and show us kind of what you're thinking?
Yeah. It's basically just a few sectors. So, this one, and like part of this one, and were affected. There's no one reporting from the Devil's Triangle, so you can't be sure it didn't affect there as well.
Right, okay.
And let's see.
I don't suppose our Starfleet intelligence services picked up any chatter among any of them, the major powers, about anything like this?
That could definitely be a command roll, and we'll check that out.
You know, if somebody big is pulling the strings, they might be discussing it.
Reason command, difficulty 3, assisted by communication command to pull the intelligence records of all major polities in the region.
Alrighty. Would a focus in Federation law politics help?
Absolutely.
Okay. Oh, man. I guess I need to roll a ship in that case.
You got nothing. Communication and bans are still banned, are still jammed and going out to further sectors. And for some reason, greater intelligence and support is lower priority for them.
Hi, you've reached the voicemail for Starfleet Intelligence. Please leave a message.
Yeah, pretty much. They're giving you the runaround. It's like, what the heck? I have a valid inquiry. You and every other starship. Get in line.
But the fate of the galaxy depends on this.
That's what they all
Putting
say.
more resources than normal on finding out what happened, and they can prevent it.
Does Goss still have dedication? Well, wait.
Determination.
Yeah, determination.
Yeah. Should I go ahead and use it?
If you don't want to, I could give you mine if you want to save yours for later.
Go ahead and use it.
Okay.
To what value?
Let's see. Supporting your peers? Or other cultures are interesting and have much to offer?
The second one. Because you are
Okay.
literally looking into other cultures.
Okay. So I can reroll that.
You may reroll.
Okay, and the ship. Yes. All
right, let's go to the really big map. And as soon as this loads in. All the way down towards the rim. And boy, this hasn't been updated in a while.
Can you guys hear me?
Hey, there he is.
Huzzah!
Hey. Well, I don't know how good this hotel internet's going to be, but I'm here for now.
Let's see. Kismet is all the way up here. Clipfix there. Gungnir's there. Plank is still by Arcania.
We're just trying to do kind of a mind map thing of what we know and all that kind of stuff.
All right.
Have we put on our leather jackets? Are we doing this or?
Absolutely
No.
not. We have found other ways that we're going, and we're searching them.
We're not getting to put on the leather jackets yet.
I will burn them before you get to put them on.
Oh.
All right. Klingon Empire is concerned but kind of monitoring this situation. They have officially offered some aid to the colonies, as they have specific interest in there. Gorn Hegemony never says much. Tholian Assembly never says much. Romulan Star Empire has been kind of insular and not really affecting the greater galaxy. They kind of have drawn inward since the war, probably because they've got their butts beat and they lost most of their fleet.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking this is a different power, either time or dimension-wise, that's meddling.
If you're writing temporal mechanics, X-Man, you are lost. That could be anyone from any time, anywhere.
As for what we're trying to do is figure out kind of a who, what, where, why of what we know. So we were just trying to see if Starfleet intelligence had any chatter from any of the major powers on what was going on over here, see if they knew anything. But that seems to have washed out.
Interestingly, the Zenkethi Coalition has been making aggressive notations. They have officially pulled their ambassadors and have been doing increasing aggressive maneuvers along their border.
They're way up north, aren't they?
Yep. But if they wanted to do a distracting tactic, this would surely be a distraction.
True. What was it you were just saying a little while ago that Sorrel would need to do?
The opportunity roll. Trying to figure out how the heck someone is able to blip subspace like that.
Yeah, and he does have a free advantage from me.
You do have an advantage.
And we lost.
Just dropped.
Yep.
I guess we'll come back to that.
I have to keep coming back to that.
Okay, that was weird. Oh! Welcome aboard, Kai. Apparently my monitoring's working again, and we have a new guest. Huzzah!
Welcome.
So you're going, what is that sound? And then I realized, oh yeah, I changed my sound alerts, and now I can actually hear them.
Welcome
back.
back to them.
Welcome back, Sorrel.
Thanks. Like I said, it's gonna be spotty tonight.
All right, let's get this down to business. So, we have a reason, science, and its role, and we're trying to figure out how someone could artificially blip subspace. So reason, science. Let's see. This is. This is gonna be very difficult. Yeah, I think Div 5's warranted. And there's some complications in the background. Computer and science. However, to help with this task, you get yet another email from your mysterious friend.
Deep anomaly.
Yep. Your mysterious friend, and leaves the hints. And there you are. Touch. Okay. Let's see. This is gonna be
Muons. 0.45. 1/4 spin. Okay. And what was the task that I'm doing?
You're trying to figure out how someone can collapse can selectively collapse subspace. However, would you like to know more about tetramuons before this?
Yes, I'd like to use my science question for that, and then of course I would also like to use new ability. My what was that? The Cochrane Certificate of Discovery.
And what does that do?
So I will gain a bonus momentum on all rolls regarding subspace theory while this focus is active, and it is a focus. So.
Nice. All right, so you have a focus in subspace theory for the scene, and you get bonus momentum with that. And with tetramuons, tetramuons are basically the fat cousin of the tetryon. If we look to our left at the standard model of the standard model of particle physics, first generation are things like the electrons, the neutrino, and stuff, and then below that are the muons. They're one generation heavier, and the tetramuon is the muon cousin, as in to the tetryon. However, up until this point, it's been purely theoretical, and there are some extra significant digits. It's to the giga electron volts that are not in standard theory because they haven't found it yet.
So so the numbers I'm getting from Deep Anomaly, they are not according to the standard model, or they are?
You're not sure, but your mysterious benefactor has given you the information on a tetramuon, a particle that theoretically exists, but Starfleet has not found it yet.
Okay, so we don't actually even
Yeah. This is completely
Okay.
new. This was like hyper theoretical. This is like the Higgs boson before, or we actually found it. Like, oh yeah, I'm totally gonna find the Higgs particle. Haha, good joke. No one will ever find that. And yet here's like a full readout on the tetramuon on with significant figures and all the stats you need on it, as if someone has seen this before.
So can that knowledge work to either lower the difficulty or the complication?
You can. This knowledge is actually making this roll possible, because otherwise you'll be shooting in the dark.
Okay.
But you do have an
Right.
advantage on this roll.
You do have an advantage, is because of Captain Calder has pulled resources to help you out.
All right. Well, I'm going to spend 3 momentum and the rest in threat to get 5 die. I have to make sure I spend threat so I can activate bolt.
So 3 momentum and 3 threat.
What we can do here. I'm good at sciencing.
You're really good at this. And you have your 1 bonus. Because you literally wrote a paper on subspace theory. In your free time, nonetheless.
Right, well, you know.
And computer science. You might get some extra questions.
Someone have the ship.
Oh, coming up.
Goodness.
Nice.
Okay, so all that momentum's back. Let's see. We have 3, 6, 9, 5, so it's 4 momentum gained. You are back up to full. Applying the tetramuon to the particle physics situation, you actually found that in certain situations it can decay into a certain type of, what radiation was it? No, not delta radiation. Because delta radiation
Beta?
It's not beta. What's another Greek letter? Because delta radiation comes from warp cores. Beta radiation is just electrons.
Oh, we lost him again.
Yeah, but no, that was Verish. They had to go.
Oh, I see.
They were no longer physically able to stay.
I should have figured this out.
We've mentioned Delta, mentioned Beta. There's still Gamma and Alpha.
Yeah, it's not quite gamma radiation either, because it's decaying into subspace. So, yeah, initially put delta radiation, and then I just wait a second. That's already established in Star or Fleet.
Yeah.
Sierra radiation.
Sierra radiation.
Yep. A special type of radiation that occurs in subspace, and theoretically it could cause some momentary collapse of subspace bands.
And do we have any kind of readings on how much the Sierra radiation present in subspace is off the standard number? Or again, are we still in the area of theory? We don't know.
You don't know because you're not totally familiar with tetramuon decay.
Right, so I know it should produce this radiation, but since we haven't ever detected this thing, we don't actually have any observational data on how much radiation it produces when it decays. Okay, can we investigate that question?
You certainly could.
I'm assuming that would be helpful in terms of trying to. Yeah, I'm assuming it's going to be helpful to try to determine a way to counteract it.
Yeah, basically you are wandering off of known physics, and you're attacking theory on top of theory on top of theory, but it seems to be working. You're just kind of following this bridge to see where it goes off this cliff. So
I'll be sure to give Deep Anomaly an acknowledgement in my next paper.
Yep, you are way out of your depth right now.
All right, so what do we need to do to proceed?
You would have to tell the Braytok to look for the Sierra radiation throughout subspace. It would be near the epicenter of the blast.
Okay. Can we transmit the parameters so they know what to look for?
For 2 momentum, yes.
Okay.
And do you have any additional questions?
So, this tetramuon exists, or it theoretically existed in subspace. Do we have any? Would I know anything from my understanding of particle physics? Anything I could deduce or infer from the fact that this tetramuon has been affected in some way and is producing Sierra radiation, presumably out of its norm, because again, this doesn't happen normally.
Normally, the tetramuon is very area unstable. You would have to charge the Sierra radiation through a certain matrix in order to affect subspace bands, and that's why this is an effect that's been seen before. You have to channel it very specifically where you need it to. Otherwise, it just splashes out and causes a local disturbance. And it's on like a room scale.
Can we configure the navigational deflector to produce that kind of effect?
To what end?
Well, again, so I might be misunderstanding it. If this tetramuon is out of phase, like for example happened in our previous game, I'm just going to say overproducing Sierra radiation, maybe it's underproducing Sierra radiation, whatever it's doing, the Braytak has to go and investigate it, and I'm trying to think of how they're going to investigate it. Are they just going to would it so I guess the question is, would it be detectable being normal sensors, or do we have to configure something specifically to detect this and assess it?
It would be detectable under normal sensors, but not under normal sensor parameters. You have to specifically look for it, because this is a phenomenon that you normally keep an eye out for.
Okay, great. So then in our momentum spin, then presumably we've given him those parameters.
Yep.
Okay.
So
You had me worried that you were going to try to accidentally recreate the seismic wave.
please no.
Well, as long as it's in the pursuit of science.
It destroyed an unknown number of ships.
I'm joking. I know Vulcans don't joke very often, but sometimes we do.
And thinking about the physics here, you would also need an immense energy source. You would have to burn out almost 10 pounds of antimatter in an instant in order to fuel a wave this big. While
How
your
much
starship
antimatter do we normally carry?
several hundred pounds, but you go through like a couple grams a day in normal operations as a starship.
So this is that's a massive antimatter spend.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that could be something to look out for. In fact, that could be a thread.
Yeah. Detecting antimatter and antimatter in excess of 10 pounds might be a way to detect.
A massive energy spike that would result in the expenditure of that much antimatter
Mm-hmm.
would probably be where we're looking at more than just excess amounts of antimatter, because every ship has an excess amount of antimatter given your parameter.
Right. I imagine this is burning it, right, in an instant. Or...
A flash burn like that would produce a lot of theta radiation that you could detect.
Can we detect where it came from? Long range sensors, maybe?
You certainly could. And this is what I get for not having my physics all the way figured out. I was looking at this and I'm like, wait a second. How does this affect an entire sub? We need to kick up the energy a bit.
I'm just going to be over here glad that I'm playing the blind instrument who just has to worry about, can I hurt that?
Does it have
It just
stats?
has to be good enough. It just has to be good enough to get us to the
That's
first break.
does it have stats or not is your problem.
Yep. Well, if it does have stats, then it can die. That's usually how it works.
I mean, I almost killed Thor.
Thor had stats.
Yeah.
You are detecting from way far away, but this is a massive spike. You might be able to get it. And might be some complications because you might pick up something. You might pick up a false lead. Then we have the sensors and the science.
Testing a theory.
I'll allow that.
So let's spend I'm going to spend 1 momentum, 1 threat to get the 4th die.
Spending 2 threat for no particular reason. And gain a momentum. There was a deep space sensor probe that detected a theta radiation and burst out in deep space.
Is it anywhere located near the Devil's Triangle?
No, in fact. It is located about where the Braytok is moving to.
Is that anywhere near that random cluster that Deep Anomaly mentioned to me a few messages back?
No, it was no, it is not near that anomaly. The anomaly, the Deep Anomaly message was much more core word. But at this time, I'm Calder. You are seeing your science officer go deeper and deeper into this crazy theory. It involves particles that are completely hypothetical. It involves radiation that we've only seen in labs. You're kind of getting suspicious, and yeah, just something's not quite adding up about Sorrel and this theory.
How so?
I will message you.
Oh, I'm back.
Good. You've come back to Calder being suspicious of our science officer.
Oh dear. Well, I guess I keep not answering questions. Just keep
No.
staring off into the dark.
No, it's because Deep Anomaly.
Oh, Deep Anomaly. Oh, yeah. Okay. When I was clicking out, I was asking if the location of where the BRATAC has identified this disturbance, whether it was anywhere close to the solar storm that Deep Anomaly mentioned a few messages ago.
No, the anomaly
That's
is
unrelated.
more core word. Yes. Words are good, yes. More towards the core rather than where we're at.
Gotcha.
And message sent.
Question, GM, is there some kind of rule I can do to kind of get concrete evidence what's happening is happening?
There is no concrete evidence. This is just a gut feeling based on the situation. But you can play that how you want. But to your character, the information I sent you, it appears to be factual.
I mean, the universe is a simulation, so.
And
The
life is
Vulcan's
but a
not really a
dream.
Vulcan, he's actually a Romulan.
So could I see all the data and messages that you've been receiving from this friend of yours?
Sorry, say that again, Captain.
Could you send me? Will show me all the messages that you received from your friend.
Yeah, didn't quite pick up that. I think you're asking me to send you the messages.
Yeah,
Because
I
if
wanna
that's
see
the
it.
okay, yeah, I will show them to the captain.
You show them to the captain. You could copy paste them to Calder directly or to the Gungnir chat, or I could just give a brief rundown of it.
Yeah, I think fastest is brief a gun down because I want to see.
All the messages are encrypted. They do not have a return address. They've been scattered throughout the VPN network, and they are are all unsigned. The signature is a bunch of completely scrambled letters.
Yeah, I think when I initially got them, I tried to trace them and to no avail.
But they seem to be very curt and to the point information. Some of it has said that, hey, you missed out on this. This is something this is something you need to look at. Or sometimes it's just like, here's a block of information. Have fun. And the Tetramuon is literally just almost a Wikipedia article on the Tetramuon with very specific and significant figures. And the timing of the messages seems to be a random, but it's always at about the time when you are looking into something or when you're investigating something. This mysterious benefactor drops you hints.
I believe that there is a chance that these conveniently placed hints are have a possibility of instead of us actually finding actual evidence, potentially giving us to a wild goose chase. And some of these could be true. I understand the spy tactic is to, if you want to have someone believe you, throw in some truths into these lies.
That's fair, although so far all the information has been pretty accurate. Actually, I would say it's all been accurate to the best of my knowledge.
The facts that you have verified have been accurate.
And looking at the times that we received these messages, it's always around the time when we're about to start looking.
Either when you're about to start looking or when in almost like you're looking the wrong way and they're like, no, this is where you need to look.
I think
So hyper aware of what we're doing.
Or close to us enough to know.
Not necessarily down to the minute, but definitely in like hours. Less than a day of you coming up with a question and your deep anomaly answers.
either this person this person might be on the ship, or some rooms of our ship has some type of bug in them.
And you're back. Well, conspiracy theories is abound. I did not expect them. I didn't think that they would go to that route. In reality, this is just someone from the future who has read their logs. So, yeah, I'm playing with information. And again, let's see how this works. And back.
I've dealt with security. I've dealt with intelligence enough that I don't really need another boogeyman hiding behind the shadows.
hotel internet. Okay, day.
Better is safe to first focus on the latter possibility, which is there's a chance that the rooms that we discuss plans of actions could potentially be bugged.
Are you looking for some kind of embedded virus or code in the message? Is what you're thinking?
Well, more like how conveniently we're talking in a starship with no way of this information coming outside to be able to somehow reach the ears of this benefactor to.
Yeah,
Also
unless
give
it's
you-
like Q. Q kind of can do these things.
I doubt it's Q. He's more.
Yeah, this isn't a
About
QMO.
Well, at least not the Q we're familiar with. Right, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, but Qs are usually Elton John.
Right, but still, I guess either. Yeah, no, I'm gonna go with could be present on the ship, and that's how they're aware of what we're doing. But their level of knowledge suggests, if not a Q, something in that range. So maybe not like godlike powers, but more advanced than us.
Yeah. I still want Fox to look through the
Fox begins to
rhythm
sweep
that
of the
we
room.
talked plans to see if there's some type of bug.
And one other possibility that occurs to me is if it isn't sort of like a higher being, it could be someone from the future. They would have advanced knowledge, and they would have knowledge of what we're doing, or at least what we might be doing in this timeline. So,
Kind of like that guy that was talking to Archer.
yeah.
That's classified.
Medically speaking.
Yeah. Archer's interaction with the future are all super classified.
Okay.
You don't remember that expose that came out 50 years ago? Oh,
Just wrong.
The reveal all.
yeah.
I mean, doesn't that turn into the zero because of the free security advantage?
Yes it would. I am losing track of myself. Gain 2 in momentum. You have 1 bonus. And indeed, Fox, there are no bugs in the room.
What about
you
listening
just-
devices?
No bugs, no listening devices, no recording scripts on the computer.
Other than the stuff that the ship normally does.
Yeah. For 2 more, you can do the entire ship.
Yep.
You are reasonably certain that there are no bugs on the ship,
It's
unless you
nothing
want to
aboard
start
this
taking
ship.
out unless you want to start taking apart bulkheads.
He's not that paranoid. There's nothing I can find aboard the ship that would lead to any kind of bugs or listening devices of any kind, other than what the ship normally records. So either it is somebody amongst us that is informing his informant,
So
or it's something far more sinister.
So the calls are coming from inside the ship.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Herm.
I switched to my personal hotspot, so hopefully I'll be a little more stable.
I am going to take us to a break. I'm gonna take like 5 minutes to stretch my legs and get some water. So we will be right back.
Good.
So, Calder, you and Q were kind of buddies, right?
I don't want it to be more Q. I am so burnt out on Q.
No, we're not friends.
Well, I mean, he saved your life, right?
He gave me an option of accepting my death or giving me a chance to come back.
So he's, somewhat interested in you. Maybe he'd stop by for a visit if you invited him somehow.
I doubt it.
There's no more Q.
Last time I saw him, it was moments after we found out about Bog's death.
And let's go here. Okay, so I kind of messed up. I think I just have too many clues and not enough people picking up on them, and I've spun my web a little too thin. So I'm gonna fix that now by just giving them insight department rolls, diff 3, and I'm just going to lay it out plain for them. Nope, wrong one. Sorry, we're not red alert. I just clicked the wrong button. Streaming is hard. Okay, and I'm back.
Welcome back.
Okay, so I might have goofed. Left out some key information there, so Calder, Insight Command, difficulty 1.
I'm going to spend a momentum for 3rd dice.
1 momentum, 3rd dice.
I'm going to use my Medal of Honor to my Legion.
To quash.
Yes.
All right. Yep, I kind of goofed, but so we have the opportunity for the blip, and the motive for it was to set up this comms update. That comms update virus was really advanced, and it is possible that it has ties to the Black Widow. However, she doesn't have we're not sure that she has a motivation for this, because this comms update seems like a larger economic play. The Latin man would have a motivation for that. We also have Captain Fred. And the Hulk that worked for Latin man. And then we have these 2 mercenaries that you are not entirely sure how they're tied into this. So we have means, motive, and opportunity. Another thing that we've missed is that the means and opportunity are technologies and techniques. This is a stretch for one of the best, possibly the best science officer in the fleet. Sorrel is pushing the edges of physics, trying to figure this out. Physics of our time. So it is possible that Latin man has help from someone with advanced knowledge of subspace mechanics. In fact, it's more than possible. It is required at this point.
That knowledge be from the future, perhaps?
Perhaps.
Yeah, I'm going to relay that info to the rest of the party.
So do we think Latin Man is Deep Anomaly?
That we're not sure of.
Okay.
Yeah, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense given everything we've seen so far.
Right.
Maybe deep anomalies fighting Latin man.
Yeah,
That's
Latin Man
right.
might have his own deep anomaly, is more
Right.
what we considered. Or Latin Man is a polar opposite of deep anomaly.
Well, I was more thinking along the lines, not that it's Latin Man, but it could be someone in Latin Man's crew that's trying to help us. Or it could just be...
He's got his own mole.
Yeah.
And all was good in the universe.
Well, I
So-
think that's cleared up everything for us, right, guys?
Oh yeah.
We're still not going to go insurrection.
Insubordination.
So we have 2 more. So we have
Star Trek insubordination.
Deep Anomaly, which is just the running title for this person.
Yeah, I just needed a name, so that's what I'm going with.
I like it. How do you spell anomaly? Wait.
Just like it
Hey,
sounds.
Google spell check. Thank you. And possible. And then a possible future patron. Which, of course, that kind of shifts things. What would the motivation for a future patron be to disrupt the Silk Road? Or is Latin man doing this himself and the future man's just paying for it? What's the relationship there?
As far as Future Man is concerned, it could be, if I disrupt this piece, this point in time, then I can have my way with another one.
Well, the question is, does this have any connection to our previous temporal interactions, which I think opens a whole wider set of possible clues and scenario. You know, the temporal assassins, all that good stuff.
Temporal assassins, the temporal incursion on the dust machine. Way back in the day.
All before my time in any game, any kind of game.
Yep. And then there was the temporal incursion of good old Captain Calder, how he was blipped from time and presumed dead for a couple months.
That predates me too.
Only time will tell. All right, so did that clear things up? I felt like we were spinning our wheels before, but now I think we are gaining traction. And I will be the first to admit that was my fault.
It's fine.
Spending 2 threat. Hey, Sorrel, you get another message.
Oh, what coincidences.
Message sent. And he blipped. Welcome back.
Thanks. I keep getting popped off. I don't know why.
Oh, my network's also having issues, but good thing I'm recording locally.
So I get another message from Deep Anomaly.
You did get a message from Deep Anomaly.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, what's the message?
It says your friends are walking into a trap. They have 24 hours to get out.
The Klingons?
Actually.
Okay,
Thanks being vague, Deep Anomaly.
Right now, they're the only people that we've sent somewhere.
quickly call them and tell them to pull back.
No response. Answer hails.
How long do they? How fast can we get there?
You would have to pull out of dock with only two breaches repaired, and it would take you 5 to 7 days to get there.
Damn it.
Can we repair along the way?
We can patch, we can't repair.
Does can the captain's time management help with that?
No, we got 5 days.
Even if we leave right now, we have 45 light years between us and them.
Is there another ship we could send, or someone we could contact that's closer?
Yeah, let's. Who's the second closest? Who could at least reach there in a day or try and contact them?
Isn't it Maxwell?
The Maxwell. Plank is next closest. It might be able to get there. Maybe not in a day, but in 2 days.
They might be gone by then, but we have to at least try. Contact the Maxwell Plank.
Unfortunately, the Maxwell Plank is busy with her own duties at the moment.
Can the captain make a priority request?
Also, I can't get a hold of the player at this second.
What about the other Silco initiative ships?
The Rampart might be able to get there, but again, 3 or 4 days. And this is diverting an entire Federation starship to save a Burrell class.
Sigel, any chance that project you've been researching might be able to help us get there fast? Sigel. Okay.
Did we lose him?
maybe Arthur, would the projects that y'all have been researching help us get there faster?
In theory, with a lot of engineering work, you might be able to. But again, you would have to pull out of dry dock right now with 2 breaches left to repair, and this will be a high-risk maneuver.
Well, I've been working on this little project called Slipstream Drive. Maybe we could give that a try.
Nope. The Akira class cannot survive Slipstream. You would have to redo the entire superstructure.
I have been working on that in my spare time. Just saying.
Uh-huh.
If we can't do Slipstream, what about a Slip Blink?
Not sure about a slip blank. I think you might be able to pull Sorrel's theoretical slipstream drive. It wouldn't be an actual slipstream, but it might get you there faster.
Yeah.
But again, you would have to pull out a dock early, so you would only have time to repair 2 breaches.
Okay.
Which 2 breaches are you repairing?
How about the 2 structural breaches?
Yeah,
Or-
2 structural breaches. We could fix the other two on our way there.
You can manually override the other 2.
Sorrel took how much damage?
What's Jenny's number? So are you
86753 on that. Can you hear us, Sorrel?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's the question?
We might be pulling up your experiment, your theoretical drive, and use it and bring it to the testing phase, like right now.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, cause we gotta make a 5-day trip in 1 day.
Well, it should work.
No
in
pressure.
theory.
I mean, if it can only do. I think.
What do I need to do to get that in? What are the steps to accomplish this task?
There's a lot of research you have to do in order to make this as theoretical. Reason science to 5. And Ross, you can help with reason in engineering.
I'll assist with the direct and use my pike metal. So, 2 free hits.
Focus in starship power systems and propulsion systems help.
Yes, it would.
Can the Gungnir's trade a fast response vessel help?
Yes, it would.
Let's decrease that comp range.
Will my focus in quantum mechanics apply here? Or astrophysics?
Quantum mechanics, yes.
Okay. All right. Let's spend 2 momentum and the rest in threat. Use bold to reroll that 0.
That's 11 successes.
Yeah, that went pretty well.
Yeah, not bad.
That was rude. So, you have 4 float now. As theoretically this will work, but it would do a lot of damage to the ship.
I believe we'll get there in one piece, Captain.
Or 2 major ones.
You know, one of the 2.
Is it, how long would you need to actually make this? And is there a way you could modify the ship to make it to lessen the damage?
I'm going to amend the message and say they have 3 days to get out instead of 1 day. But you're still facing a time crunch, just not as severe a one. Because otherwise, this could have implications for physics.
Yeah, makes sense.
So if we went a little slower, would that make it less damaging?
Huh? This is still trying to get your ship there before the time's up.
Yes,
You're trying to make a 7-day journey in 3 days.
Yeah, because if we could at least make it ahead of the break clock, we could at least warn them and we can pull back.
So, you have 4 float. What would you like to do with it? Theoretically, this will work, but you will definitely incur some. There's a high probability you might incur some damage.
advantages for us to be able to modify the ship to counteract the shock.
Yeah, setting up disadvantages sounds like a good idea.
Yep.
Agreed.
I am just considering things and doing math in the background.
That's cool. Don't forget to carry the 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, this work. Okay, so you have your theoretical. It's not quite a slipstream aim drive, but it would be a subspace field that you can use to decrease your subspace drag, and actually generate that drag into a soliton wave behind you. So it becomes a speed multiplier. How that works, you're very shaky on the math, and what that would do to your ship, you are guessing. But you do have 2 advantages to pull this off. Let's see if you can mount a rescue mission.
Not like this, I think.
Do.
We shall call this the Hoff effect.
There we go.
Okay, yep, we're definitely calling this the Hoff effect. Let's do this. All right. No, not reason reason engineering. And I'll be right back. Yep, I kind of messed up. I basically wrote myself in the corner, and now I'm trying to write myself out of it. And they're gonna be pulling a very dangerous maneuver to try to save their friends. I'm trying to basically see how willing they are to save them, and yep, we're going to a Class Y demon world. Good luck, guys.
Boy.
Well, we have the 2 advantages. Maybe we can get him to go down on that complication.
Hopefully.
I think that
And
and also with the can some of the ship's trait help, like friendly defender or fast response?
First response, yes.
Spear up fleet.
Yeah, I'll take that. So you have 2 traits. How would you like to apply them?
Decrease the comp by 2.
All right, so we're down to comp 0 and to 4.
Okay, I'm going to spend point of momentum and 2 threat. for 4 dice. And did you say starship power and propulsion can be used as a focus?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a question, GM.
Yes.
Would we be able to prevent damage by making this thing a one and done thing?
That would lower the risk for it. Yes.
Yeah, so let's focus on making this prototype a one and done thing.
So, single use.
Yeah.
I can still write my paper. I'm fine.
It just needs tweaking for it to become a multi-use thing.
Mm-hmm. Proof of concept paper.
All right. There is 7 momentum. You have 1 float. In theory, this could work. Now's time to get it done.
Kit, engage the Hoff drive.
You do have 1 float. Would you like to use that?
Yes.
What would you like to use that momentum for?
Great question.
Maybe getting a sensor sweep on our way there, so we know what we're coming into.
Certainly. So, against instant regulation, in fact, Calder, as you are getting permission to pull out, the Dockmaster is giving you an earful. What do you mean pull out? We're not even and done with the communication systems, and your engines and still have breaches.
This is a priority 1E emergency.
Okay. Pulling out half finished.
That's what she said.
I wasn't going there. And through much protest, the engineers get this done. Now to put this into effect. Difficulty 4, Patrol Engineering, Diff 4, Com 4, assisted by Engines Engineering.
Alrighty. And none of our advantages will reduce that comp on this roll?
This is including any advantages you have.
Okay.
Unless you want to go make some other ones.
Trying to think of something. Can we do a quick run through on the holodeck? That will help us out.
That will take some time, but yes.
Anybody got any
Control
other
Engineering,
ideas?
Difficulty 3, assisted by Computers Engineering. To create that advantage. and this will take some time off the clock.
Is that something we want to do, guys? Or
Sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
so starship roll? Or both? Okay, both, yeah.
Both. Momentum. Yeah, 3 float.
I would like to see if we could do something to reduce that complication with that float if possible.
Absolutely. You can spend all 3 of it and you can get it down by 1 plus 1 more.
Please.
Comp 2.
All right. If everybody's ready, here we go. I'm going to spend a point of momentum and 2 threat. Sweet.
I need to start throwing higher difficulties at you guys.
Hey, we're paying for it.
Alright, you have 2 float. As you are able to overcharge the Hoff drive. Can't believe we're calling it that. You have 2 float. What would you like to do with it?
Try and eliminate as much potential damage to the engines and the structure as possible.
Alright. Managed to spend and 5 spending down 5 threat. I do 5 points of damage into your air shields.
Did it work?
Wait, I did that wrong. I don't know what I'm doing with my math anymore. It did work. However, However, it burns out your warp coils upon arrival.
Ruh-roh.
I hope it packs spares.
You do is going to take at least a day of downtime in order to repair them.
Okay.
Captain, it'll take at least 2 days to fix it.
You only got a day to do it.
I cannot work miracles, Captain.
Fine. Okay, so where are we currently ahead of the way talk? Because the plan was to jump between the Waytalk's path between where they are to the location, so we could just constantly spam the communication signal to call them.
Mm-hmm. I feel like yeah, right now I'm trying to build the bridge as we're running across it, and for some reason my brain is just not keeping up with me at the moment, so I apologize if I'm ho-humming.
It's fine.
I missed something. Did we fold space?
Yeah, we got some spice and we took care of it.
Yeah, and now I'm trying to make sure you pay for it.
It worked.
It did work, but I have...
Barely is also a good descriptor.
Yep.
It
barely
did.
worked.
It got a Sorel full-on fist bump.
Yeah, Sorrel is now the Quetzalcoatl. Or am I getting my genres mixed up here?
Maybe a little.
Yeah, the problem I'm facing here is I think I oversold myself, and now you guys have access as to this technology that can jump your warp factor, and now I'm trying to make sure that if you do this again, and you will think twice.
There's
So that
no
I don't
amount of
break my own
conversion we
game.
can make that won't constantly burn out the ship, and if we do it one too many times, the ship will implode.
I mean, best case to say, because of this is pretty much new tech, we're not allowed to command. It's been saying we're not allowed to use this tech again until it's safe.
Just do a bureaucratic lockout. I guess that'll work.
Yeah. The admiral in charge of the Corps of Engineers is like, yeah, this could potentially just destroy all of our ships if we try to do it. So we're just going to classify it until we are 100% sure we can use it.
The crew gets too dizzy. I have an idea. Spending 2 threat for our said idea. And we shall find out later.
So
But
later we find out we ripped a hole in subspace.
shh. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. You make it to the system, which is something like this map here. There are this is a star system. There's a couple worlds on the screen. There are about 4 worlds, none of them M class.
How far is the Braytok?
You managed to jump ahead of them, and the Braytok is yeah, the Braytok is just coming into the system from the other side.
Get their full impulse. Glass, have you and Lev fix the warp coils? Because there's a chance we might need them now.
Hi, Captain.
Rost, you'll be unavailable for the time being. You have to be full time. I'm working on this.
Okay. I think we'll need warp engines at some point, so yeah.
No, it'll be fine. You don't have to have warp engines. Let's see, guest star and the Braytok. Alright, so we're in the star system. There are four worlds out here. None of them M class. There's a J class as planet with several moons. One Y class as world. Couple Martian types. I'm near the edge, and then ice world in the Kepler belt. However, you are detecting an extensive subspace radio array on the by the J class system.
Get the Braytok on hail now.
They answer. My friends, I didn't know you would be here so soon. We thought you were still suckling in the teat of the Corps of Engineers.
Ghost, but we can't. We received information that you're going to walk into trap in, so we tried to get here as soon as possible. We didn't have time to finish all of our repairs.
Ha! We found a peculiar source of radiation in the system coming from the Y-class planet over there. Who would like to do a sensor scan? Sura, would you like to do a sensor scan? As we are continuing to have communication failure.
That, or he's forgotten he's muted.
Or
internet
across
issues.
it. We're having one of those days. The Braytok, Aquil, Elvamark, our sensor operators said that you came in on a very peculiar subspace wave, and it appears to be persisting. But is everything all right?
Yeah, our ships are fine, but we damaged our warp coils.
Ah. Oh, technically. Well, warp coils only needed, and shall our enemy make an escape.
You back online, Saram?
I am. I'm back. What do you need? No sensors, recent science.
Yeah.
Yep, reason science.
And what am I doing?
General sensor sweep of the entire system.
Okay, testing a theory.
No, we haven't actually scanned a star system today.
All right, I'll burn 2 momentum, 1 threat then. Sensor operations for my focus.
Yes.
I'll re-roll the 0. Love and bold, gotta say.
Yeah, Bolt's a good talent. And let's see, I need some more Arians. Some of these and some of these. We're doing it live. Goodness. All right, so you just want to know all the things, I'm guessing?
Yeah,
So
we like
6,
to know all the things.
8, 3, so freaking 5 momentum. So that is 3 float. All right, so as mentioned, there's no M-class world here. There is a Y-class world. Sensors show that it does have an extensive subspace array built on it, and there are various subspace repeaters built on some of the moons of the Jovian system. Like an unreasonable amount of subspace arrays.
Like if you were going to move stars or something.
Or if you're going to listen to every subspace band in existence.
Oh.
They appear to be clustered on one particular continent on the Y-class world. Let's get a picture of that.
Did you hear my question, Gian?
I do not.
Yeah, I keep going in and out. Don't see any way to stop it. Anyway, my question was there this technology? Is there any way we can identify who is responsible for that?
Certainly. For a science question.
Yes.
The technology appears to be, some Ferengi bands and Romulan and Tholian.
Okay.
A slight mixed match. Not quite they were all salvaged, but that they're taking the best features of all three of those.
Oh boy, they're working together. Legion of Doom style.
Well, brave Gungnir, we shall... It appears that we have our target. And there are definite signs of this particular radiation in the field. Shall I lead the ground forces, or would you like to have some diplomacy first?
It's awful thoughtful of them to ask.
Pretty much their plan was to well, we just told them just to scan this planet and give us the information. Did we scan any life forms?
For additional momentum, you can.
We have 9. We can burn it.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. What kind of life form lives on a Class Y world?
Tholians?
Tholians. Guess what you're reading on the surface of the Class Y planet?
Tholians.
Lots of Tholians.
Exchange with
At
them
least
being-
at least 100.
That's being exchanged with this many Tholians so deep into Federation space.
Mm-hmm. Any other additional questions or advantages you want to get before this momentum goes away?
Any ideas? Let's see. Could we spend 2 momentum to figure out if this is the places where the hacks are coming from?
Indeed. Hidden in the Jovian moons, there is one planetoid that has been hollowed out and turned into a machine of sorts, and it has been fitted with lots of subspace radiators or subspace antennae that are bleeding into it.
Does that sound like something that could generate a subspace shockwave?
Could be.
I mean, that could contact Admiral Naya immediately.
Let me check something from someone here. this? I have not read this in a while. Engineering and one. For some reason in there is a level 5. I have subspace distortion in the area. You're unable to get comms out.
Can we deploy a subspace buoy?
Yeah, make it so.
For momentum, you can deploy subspace buoy.
Yep. Is the buoy tech still on the line?
Yeah, local comms are not affected.
Okay, I think I'll explain because of this. I think we now have evidence of this place being like the subspace distortion was man-made.
An attack of some sort, but you don't have evidence that this is tied to the Latin man in the Devil's Triangle yet. That evidence would probably be on someone's computers on someone's planet.
Sounds like landing party time.
Yeah, that's kind of
Hammer time.
Yep, that's kind of what I'm leaning towards.
Yeah.
Hammer and plasma bolter.
Yeah. Can you pinpoint some form of command center for either the hacking or that machine planetoid?
I will look, Captain.
The machine implantoid is abandoned. It appears that all personnel are down on the Class Y planet.
Is there a command center on the Class Y planet?
I can answer that for a momentum.
Sure.
Indeed, there is.
What check
yes,
would
Captain.
With 100 Tholians in it, but yes.
What?
Just 100? Just 100, Captain.
Yeah.
Just 100.
What check would be to try and break through this interference?
It would be a +5 difficulty and complication to any subspace based task.
So difficulty 5.
Difficulty 5 plus whatever it would take to communicate to D Space Aegis. That's going to be like difficulty 8 or 9.
Would the subspace buoy help us?
It is currently launched, but it is still in the mix, so it is trying to very slowly move out of range at maximum impulse.
If we used a fighter or a runabout to just bring it out, would that make it go by faster?
Same issue. Warp speed's impossible while this affects in orbit.
Okay.
But if you land, there's a possibility that the probe would make it outside of the system by the time you're done. Or it might just clear itself up. Yeah.
Okay, I think the best way to do it is make a pre-recorded message that would be sent to Nea when it's able to be sent.
For 2 momentum, and you can have that set up.
Yeah, I'll do that.
1 pre-recorded message for Admiral Nea as soon as the interference is cleared.
Is it something to the effect of, "Bitch, I told you"?
Jesus Christ. We don't have the proof that it's in the Devil's Triangle, so no, we didn't tell her.
I mean, we have half the evidence that.
Yeah, and the rest of the evidence is on the planet. I'm telling you, the mission's on the planet.
We're ready. Let's do it.
Let's do
I
it.
can't believe Fox wanted to go rogue over this.
We didn't want to go rogue over this. You did.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, right.
Well, didn't you hear
What
Fox
is-
talking about going insurrection?
What is this jacket over here with insurrectionist buddies on it? It says Rost and Sorrel forever on its tag.
I think the weirdest thing is it has still the space on it.
Look, I never cracked out the leather jacket. I just talked about it.
You just talked about the leather jacket. Okay, EVA suits are required, unless you can breathe 3,000 degree methane.
I think I had that as a
No.
focus.
EVA suit. You have nothing of a focus that isn't on your sheet. And that is definitely not on your sheet.
It is now.
Of course, or doing combat in EVA suits, who gives you +1 complication and difficulty for combat.
So if we're coming into methane based
think-
atmosphere,
I'll have to double
what
check.
effect will that?
I have to double check. I'm now starting to doubt what the atmosphere of Class Y is.
Toxic
the-
atmosphere and surface temperature exceeding 500 Kelvin.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm
just
wondering
memory
what effect
alpha.
that will. Wondering what effect that'll have on our weapons.
Might be in popular opinion, but maybe try and do this next week after you do some research.
What's that about research?
Maybe we'll wait and do this next week. Because we all are also down 2 people.
Yeah, we could do that, and I'm kind of running low on ideas.
Yeah, let's.
Yeah, this episode was kind of a.
I'm coming in and out.
Yeah, you're coming in and out. We're 2 people down as it is.
Well, technically we're only 1 since
1.
Lovick
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
permanent
Lovik's
work. Yeah.
permanent out. Are we gonna? Well, that's awful.
I would be okay with picking this up next week. Just means I get to throw more things at you. But
You can hit more things with my hammer. I'm good with that.
Yep, but we have a destination, and possibly the Black Widow's base, and we, however, are hiding in the background, and is a strange subspace ace interference. It's not a blanket band. It's not a subspace ace collapse. In fact, who would like to look into that subspace interference? And it's really quick before we leave.
Everyone turns to Sorrel.
Sorrel, how
Sure,
are
I
you
will.
with xenobiology?
I think he's got a focus in it.
Xenobiology is a focus of mine. Yes.
It is focus. Okay. Take this down a level. Sensor science.
the threat.
And we're just gonna do a threat jump.
Rerolling the complication.
Huzzah! The subspace ace distortion appears organic in origin. A deep rumbling sound across all subspace bands. And high energy vortexes. And for 2 momentum, I can give you a brief image.
Yes.
Close enough. You briefly see this image flash across your screen. It was buried deep in the bandwidths, but something's out there.
Looks like a dragon. Cthulhu dragon? What the heck? Where's the head? Is that the head?
With the class?
Can I share with the class?
You can share with the class. Alright, actually... Oh, you got it. And with that image, as you are stocking up for a ground assault on a Class Y world, that image blips across the subspace sensor array just for a second, and it is gone.
Not that thing again.
And with that, we will end tonight's episode.
You said not that thing again. Care to share with the new guy?
Space Kraken.
And
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna throw my hammer at it.
Space Kraken, yeah.
Yes, this is the thing now. Thank you everyone and for playing tonight. Thank you of course to Modifius for letting us use their system. And music by Kevin Macload out at incomptech.com. You can check out his royalty-free music there. Yeah. So we kind of spun our wheels a bit. But you've now run off halfway through your repair cycle to rescue your Klingon friends. However, in your rush over there, you managed to dredge something up from the deep. And
But
you
we
stand...
did violate the law of physics.
Yeah, next week I'll prepare for a ground assault, and we might have a special guest for this. Sweet. And with that, thanks of course goes to Modifius for giving us the tall ship, and Gene Roddenberry for giving the stars to guide us. Until next time, remember, your story is also worth telling. and we will see you next week.